all you need to know, the Bloomberg Quint podcast that prepares you for the day's business.
Good morning. You're listening to the Daily Morning Update from Bloomberg Quint, and I'm Alex Matthew. Today's the 17th of April. Now, I know this isn't what you want to listen to first thing in the morning, but it is top of mind. The number of coronavirus cases in India hit 12,759 yesterday. 826 new cases were added in the 24 hours to yesterday evening. But the good news is that more than 200 patients who'd contracted the virus were discharged yesterday. Now, yesterday, Prime Minister Narendra Modi assessed the impact of the pandemic on the Indian economy and considered the possibility of a second stimulus package to boost sectors that have been most affected. Internationally, the number of those infected rose above 2.1 million. Nearly 650,000 of those are in the US, where over 30,000 people have now died on account of the virus. But there's some cause for cheer. According to a new report quoted by Bloomberg, a group of coronavirus patients being treated with biopharmaceutical company Gilead's trial drug, which is called Remdesivir in Chicago, have seen rapid recoveries in fever and respiratory symptoms, according to that report. Now, meanwhile, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has extended the statewide lockdown to the 15th of May, citing progress made in limiting the spread of the coronavirus. In fact, in the US, more than 5 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week, according to the latest available data. The figures suggest an unemployment rate currently around at least 17%, which is far higher than the 10% reached in the wake of the recession that ended in 2009. That's a sign that the effects of shutdowns have spread far beyond the restaurants, hotels, and other businesses. But there were also some signs of positivity on the economic front last night. US President Donald Trump unveiled guidelines on reopening the US economy that could allow states and employers to abandon most social distancing practices within 4 weeks. Let's hope that the spread of the virus can be controlled in that time, not just there, but also back home. Let's turn to some corporate news back home now. Reliance Industries raised 8,500 crore rupees in 3-year bonds, just short of its target of raising 9,000 crore rupees. The two-part non-convertible debenture issue saw interest from large banks, but at a higher coupon rate than was paid in previous issues. For more details on that bond issue, do look up the detailed story on the website bloombergquint.com. Rating agency Fitch has downgraded the credit rating of Tata Motors to B and also revised the outlook on the company to negative from stable. Before the cut, the company's rating was already below the investment grade of BBB at BB-. In international markets, US stocks climbed on hopes that the economy could open up based on the plan that the US president unveiled. Gains were modest, with the Dow ending higher by just over 0.1% and the S&P 500 rising by 0.6%. The Nasdaq, though, climbed 1.7%. But futures are strongly positive, and the early risers in the Asia-Pacific region have started very strongly, all up 2.5% and more. And with that, it's over to Agam Vakil for the trade setup for the day in India. Morning, Agam. How are we looking at the end of the week?
Good morning, Alex, and good morning, listeners. The SGX Nifty futures indication of 200 points gain this morning shows we're likely to build on yesterday's strength. Remember, we did see advances on the benchmark indices yesterday, but there is another important factor that may also determine the direction, and that is the earnings, where we have information technology heavyweight TCS, which reported a muted quarter and has painted a grim outlook when it comes to the near term. It's seen a 2.5% quarter-on-quarter decline in USD terms, with flat margins performance coming at around 25.1%. The drop in revenues was largely led by COVID-19 caused disruptions in operations and some sort of an impact owing to lower demand. Going forward, the company expects a sharp drop in revenues in the first quarter of FY21, and Q3 FY21 revenues could likely be similar to those in the third quarter of the previous financial year. We have aviation stocks in news, as well as the Ministry of Civil Aviation asks airlines to refund the full amount for both international and domestic travel without levy of cancellation charges. The clarification says the refund will be made if the tickets are booked during the lockdown period, that is March 25th to May 3rd. Oberoi Realty has repaid NCDs worth 125 crores ahead of its scheduled date of repayment, which is April 23rd. Mahindra & Mahindra's renewable energy arm has completed its sale of Divine Sovereign for 124.5 crores to CLP India. And we also have BEML in focus, as L&T Mutual Fund has reduced its stake in the company from 5.1% to now at 2.7% on April 15th. Moving on, we have JK Lakshmi Cement, which has informed the exchanges that its grinding units at Kalol and Surat have become operational. Sudarshan Chemicals has received permission to start operations at its manufacturing facilities at Mahad, whereas Suprajit Engineering's arm Westcon is operating plants in the US and Mexico at 50% capacity. We also have India Glycos, which has resumed operations at its 3 plants in Uttar Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Now, these are just some of the stocks that we can watch out for as we move into trade today, but don't forget to go through our morning edition of All You Need to Know only on BloombergQuint.com.
Thanks, Agam. And as always, thank you all for listening in. This is Alex Matthews signing off. Have a great end to the week and a good weekend.
I hope you enjoyed listening to All You Need to Know. Did you know that you could listen to the show on the IVM Podcast app? On the IVM Podcast app, along with this, we have a number of other shows which you think you'll enjoy. Listen to Cyrus Says with Cyrus Brocha as the host. Listen to Paisa Vaisa with Anupam Gupta. The Scene and the Unseen with Amit Verma, or Shunya One hosted by Shiladitya Mukhopadhyay and myself. Check out the IVM Podcast app to get more talk content that you will enjoy.